and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Okay, we've got a few things to talk about, and I'm going to address some comments to people that have left me comments here on YouTube, which I don't do often, but sometimes I think it's worth making some response other than writing underneath the comment. But a lot has happened in the past few days, and I'm just going to talk for a moment about what's going on in Ukraine and with Zelensky and the Pope and Putin and President Trump, and then I'll talk about a few other things. Welcome. If you're new, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. Okay, so the Pope is offered to negotiate peace talks between Putin and Zelensky. And I'm all for that. You know, I mean, who's against that? We got to end this war, and it's insane. President Trump says there's over 5,000 dying a day, and it's hopeless for Ukraine to ever defeat Russia. I mean, they're just, you know, there's no way that they're ever going to defeat Russia. Russia's a big old country. They're a small country in comparison, and it's just not going to happen. And what we got going on here is, I would almost say it's a stalemate, like in World War I, because of world pressure from the United States and other countries. Things aren't going to escalate beyond where they are. So they're just in this stalemate situation where people are dying for nothing. And if the Pope wants to get in and negotiate a peace, that's fine. I mean, I don't know what Putin's view on the Pope is. You know, he's an active participant in the Russian Orthodox Church. But Zelensky, you know, Zelensky's not calling the plays here, okay? We know that Zelensky is controlled by very evil people. So, you know, and these guys don't want the war to ever end, right? It's their version of the military-industrial complex over there, including our military-industrial complex in this country. But if the Pope wants to get in, Pope Leo, and get a summit meeting going with Putin and Zelensky and end the war, I am all for that. It's ridiculous. I mean, U.S. help with this war has got to end. Unfortunately, Biden put a lot of things through legislation that Trump can't cut off some of this funding. So that's fine. And, you know, it'd be interesting to see an American Pope getting involved in something big like this. You know, like Pope John Paul was very much a partner with Ronald Reagan to defeat the Soviet Union. And a lot of people, I don't know if people today really know that, but Pope John Paul II, you know, because he was from Poland, and he was a priest during the Nazi occupation during the Second World War, and he worked very hard with President Reagan to defeat the Soviet Union. So to have an American Pope working with the President of the United States to end a situation like this, in particular with Russia, there's a track record of that. And I'm sure Putin is very well aware of Pope John Paul's role in defeating the Soviet Union. So hopefully that happens. I wanted to talk about something I brought up yesterday morning. I've gotten a lot of comments about it. And some people, I don't know, maybe they don't watch enough of the stream to pick up on what I said, right? And I was talking yesterday about Comey with the seashell stuff. And there's no doubt about it, as I'm sitting here waiting for my coffee to cool off and you guys are watching me and chatting in the chat room, Comey should be in a jail cell in D.C., the same one they put Peter Navarro in, right? Remember, when Peter Navarro was arrested and became a political prisoner, they put him in the same cell that they held John Hinckley in. So that's where Comey should be right now. But what I was talking about yesterday that was missed by some people that left comments on the video, and I've gotten some DMs and things from people. Sometimes maybe you didn't watch enough of the video, I don't know. What I was talking about is, what was Comey doing? And I'll restate a little. I'll give you a shorter version of it because I think it's important. Okay, the permanent Washington class, which encompasses all these different things, the deep state, the military-industrial complex, big pharma, all these people, the corrupt politicians and bureaucracy. When Elon Musk exposed and Trump shut down USAID, that was like all their money. And it's amazing that USAID, it seems, was how everything was funded. All the corruption was funded. And they've been cut off for a while now. And a lot of these people are facing tremendous financial pressures, right? Because they've been getting that money forever, and they've expected the USAID money to continue forever. So Pakistan or India, I don't care. I don't care. It's not my concern, Pakistan or India. Sorry. I'm for fighting to end, wars to end, killing to stop. But with the shutdown of USAID, a lot of these people are in full panic mode. Some of them may be facing foreclosure on their big homes in Northern Virginia, right? Because that money's not coming in. Maybe facing repossessions of their luxury cars that are beyond their government salaries to be able to afford, and their credit cards aren't getting paid, and the fancy private schools like Sidwell Friends Academy, that tuition, they can't pay that tuition anymore and all that stuff. So there's a lot of panic among the permanent Washington class over Trump because he cut off their money with USAID, which is an awesome thing to do. So what I was talking about yesterday that some people miss because of comments I've gotten on YouTube and elsewhere since that stream yesterday morning, I called it the Comey plot, and I asked people in the chat room yesterday, did Comey want to get arrested? Did Comey want to get arrested? And I was talking about what would happen if Comey was arrested on Friday, which he should have been, but if he were arrested, what would happen? And if Comey were arrested on Friday, there'd be a complete government shutdown by Tuesday, Wednesday this week. The media would make such a big deal about it. The Democrats would talk about a constitutional crisis and lawfare, and they would have tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of activists to send on Washington, and the government would shut down. That they would make sure of it. It would be the media in the left and the never-Trumpers would do everything they could do to make an arrest of Comey the biggest political scandal in history. Now, I'm not saying that I don't care. Arrest him anyway. But I was talking about what would have happened. And when I called it the Comey plot, what I was saying was this. President Trump has a major mandate. His approval ratings are over 50%. He just had this historic Middle East event, tour, that he has made $3 trillion, that's with a T, trillion, $3 trillion just from the Middle East in business for the United States. It's absolutely amazing. The big, beautiful bill will pass, but if they would have arrested Comey, what the Democrats would have done, and never-Trumpers, by the way, there would have been a lot of fake MAGA Republican never-Trumpers come out of the closet who would have obstructed everything President Trump did and declared him an illegitimate dictator for arresting a former FBI director. It's possible that the big, beautiful bill would not have passed. These fake Republicans that weren't supporting the bill the other day, that may have very well been in collusion with this Comey plot. So what I was telling you is, these desperate people who got their money cut off, was this whole thing with Comey a desperate attempt to try to shut down the Trump agenda with this incredible mandate and so much is happening? And I think absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. I didn't say he should not be arrested. I mean, my goodness, he should be sitting in a jail cell right now. No, the bill hasn't come up for a vote yet. It will, and it will pass. Don't worry. The big, beautiful bill is going to pass. I mean, people sitting around, oh, you're not going to pass. And, you know, come on. Of course it's going to pass. Why do we need a third term for Obama? You don't think the country was wrecked enough? He already had 3 terms if you include him being the president behind the president in Biden's term. Yeah. So that's what I was talking about yesterday, and there's no doubt in my mind that Comey wanted to get arrested. No doubt about it. Not just to promote his book, but to try to stall the Trump administration. It was their attempt, being out of power, it was their attempt to try to stop Trump. Because they're out of power, they can't misuse their government offices anymore because they don't hold any government offices with power to do something. There's a deli a couple doors down from where I'm sitting, and their alarm went off. But there's no doubt that's what happened. That's what I was talking about. I wasn't suggesting he should not be arrested. Now, I was wondering if that was a factor in them deciding not to arrest him in the Trump administration. I don't know, perhaps. The judiciary does not boss the President of the United States around. I'm still waiting for this coffee to cool off. It is way too hot. Oh, there's an ambulance here with fire truck. Oh, it must be the fire alarm that went off. There's a fire truck just went by. Got to come behind me. Must be the fire alarm that went off at the deli. That looks like what happened. There's no fire. And maybe the oven went off. Maybe they over toasted a bagel. We'll find out. They're coming in. Here, that's the alarm. Can you hear it? A little action. Yeah. They're not co-equal branches. President Trump controls a military, and he is the sole person in an entire branch of government. No one's equal to that. I don't know. The woman from inside didn't seem concerned about the fire alarm. She was just sitting outside, annoyed. Firefighters, they got the best job. They work like 6 days. How many days do firefighters work a month? Is it 8? 8 days a month? Give me a freaking break. But there's no doubt that's what was going on with Comey. Now, I was wondering about the Pope offering to get involved and have a summit meeting with Putin and Zelensky to end this Biden war in Ukraine. And I was wondering, was that Trump's idea? Was it Trump's idea for Pope Leo to have a summit? Because I don't think Trump wants to. If Trump wanted to do it right now, he'd do it. And what got me thinking, we've got an American Pope for the first time, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio was there for the inauguration of the Pope, as is the Vice President J.D. Vance. And they met with him, so also they work 9 days a month. Woohoo! So, do you think that it was President Trump's idea for the Pope to do that? I think it was. Oh, now here's the cop, lady cop. She's gone in now to follow the firefighters. Sheriff's deputy. She's got more tank gear on. She can hardly stand up. She's got so much tank gear on. You know, she's got the whole vest going on. I mean, come on. How much gear does she need? And it would not be surprising to me if it was President Trump's idea for Pope Leo to run the summit. What do you guys think about that? Because that was really out-of-the-box kind of thing to happen. Well, I don't know if it'd be at the Vatican. Did he say at the Vatican, or would he go somewhere? I think he was talking about going somewhere for it. But I don't think that it's a coincidence that Marco Rubio and JD, who are both Catholics, are over there, and then all of a sudden we get that announcement from the Pope. Okay, here comes firefighter number 1. My MAGA scooter is between the fire truck and the deli, so hold on. Maybe I hope I don't have to move it. Are they going to leave? They're probably figuring out how to turn the alarm off. Yeah, he came in and got a set of keys, so maybe they have a master key for something. It's loud. It's louder than you're hearing. Because the mic, this mic is a noise canceling mic, so you can hear it, but it's louder to me than you're hearing. Well, who do you think made the decision not to arrest Comey? Trump or Pam Bondi? Who made the decision not to arrest Comey? Trump or Pam Bondi? What do you think? Now, keep in mind, it was a Secret Service interview. Jay says Trump. Most people are saying Trump. Some are saying Bondi. I guess we're about close to 50-50, Bondi or Trump. So who made the decision not to arrest Comey? Pam Bondi or our favorite president, Donald Trump? It looks like 50-50 split on that. I would lean on Trump. Not Pam Bondi, but who knows? We'll never know for sure. At least not anytime soon. I would lean. My bet would be Trump. My bet would be Trump. And you know, I'll tell you the reason there's a couple reasons. Okay, not just the ones. Now the question is, who made the decision not to arrest Comey? Was it Pam Bondi or President Trump? Okay, I would lean on the side of Trump, and I'll tell you why. And it's not all the reasons I mentioned earlier. If you missed that, rewind the stream. You can watch what I think Comey was trying to do here. It was a Secret Service thing. It was not the Justice Department. Okay, it was the Secret Service. So that is Secret Service is under Homeland Security, which is Kristi Noem. And the head of the Secret Service is the man that was with President Trump when the Never-Trumpers shot him. That is in all the photographs. I've forgotten his name. Anybody know his name offhand? I don't know his name offhand. But when Trump says fight, 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 I've got T-shirt. I've got a picture in my living room of Trump with the fight, fight, fight. The guy's in the picture. So that he is a friend and loyal Trump guy, the head of the Secret Service. And Kristi Noem was all about the Comey thing on Friday. So my guess is Trump. I don't think Pam Bondi was even involved since it was the Secret Service handled it. But that would be my guess. But, you know, there's a lot of people that don't like Pam Bondi. I get that. You know, but, you know, you gotta think about it. The decision was made by the Secret Service. Secret Service is run by someone that Trump trusts with his life. Remember, he was the one that gave the Secret Service badge to the little boy that survived cancer that the Democrats wouldn't say. He gave him a hug. That's the head of the Secret Service. So there you have it. I mean, that's why I would lean on Trump, not Bondi. If it would, if it, well, now some of the deli employees are showing up. They're all annoyed. Can you hear the alarm a little now? They opened up the door and it got really loud. Hey, just because Comey was not arrested now doesn't mean that he will not be. Sean Curran, or is it Curran? I don't think it's Curran. It's got to be Curran. So if it was an FBI event, then you might have something different. You might be able to lean on. You might have to lean on Pam Bondi then, but well, because Comey's insane. He is certifiably insane. He's completely nuts. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where Maggot comes to talk. If you're wondering, the sirens, fire alarm went off on the deli. Fire department has been dispatched. They have 2 firefighters and a lady sheriff's deputy inside. And they don't seem to be able to get the alarm off. And I don't see any fire equipment. No hoses, no fire extinguishers, nothing. No. I'm not exactly sure what happened. No, I mean, that makes perfect sense. I mean, because the Secret Service. Now, so I'll ask you, now that I've said that, because a lot of people said, who do you think made the decision not to arrest, at this time, Comey? Trump or Pam Bondi? Trump or Pam Bondi? And, not arresting Comey, it's definite false alarm, And they can't get the alarm off, I can tell. Here it goes. Can you hear it again? Oh. It's loud. But, just because they didn't arrest him doesn't mean they're not going to. And they may have him under surveillance. They might get a warrant and be all up in his computer and his phones now, And as arrogant as Comey is, he meant what he put in the shells. He meant that. Come on, everybody knows. And they may have used that incident, let him go, so they can monitor him to see who he talks to. Do you think that's a possibility? That they didn't arrest him because they want to do surveillance on him, see who he's communicating with? Now, this is just Sunday morning coffee. I'll have a new podcast today. Don't miss the podcast. How was I supposed to know? There was somebody here. There are assholes. She's bitching at me because she says you didn't want to call us that our fire alarm was going off. What the fuck? I mean, there was an employee there. I didn't hear a fire alarm when I first started streaming. Did you? Woman's out of her mind. The fire alarm's off in her business, and it's my fault. I didn't call. Can you hear it now? The door's shut. My goodness. And there was an employee there the whole time I was here. Yeah, liberals, Pat. That's what liberals do. No personal responsibility. It's my fault. It's my fault, yeah. Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. She said, nobody in the plaza called. When I came here, I pulled up. I'm in front of the deli. I could see inside there was an employee in there. I got my coffee. I came here. I'm sitting down in front of a restaurant that's not open till later. I didn't hear anything when I walked by. And and alarms today are so useless. Like car alarm, you hear them go off and everybody you just assume there's a malfunction. Typical liberal, no doubt about it. So no, I would say Comey is so insane, okay? He's so insane that when he got home from that questioning, he's probably on the phone bragging to his friends, I got away with it, you know. So they very well could have used this incident to get wiretaps on Comey's everything. Would that surprise you? I'll ask the question again. I asked it earlier, but then this lunatic's blaming me for the fire alarm in her business. Do you think it's possible they let Comey, yes or no, is it possible they let Comey go and they have wiretap warrants all over all his computers and everything and are monitoring him? What do you think? I say that's a very strong, I would put a yes to that. That's a very strong possibility. President Trump is very smart, and the people around him are smart too. They know exactly what they're doing. Alfred says 100%. Yeah. It makes perfect sense. And Comey is such an arrogant lunatic. He is, when I say insane, look at his face. I mean, you can see it in his face. He's arrogant, total lunatic. So he'll be on the phone, online, texting his co-conspirators. They might want to find out who he's talking to find out some of these lawfare people, because whatever committee of lawfare criminals there are, he's on the committee. He's one of the leaders of it. Always trust in Trump. They didn't arrest Comey. President Trump and his team had a very good reason. Believe me. I always trust in Trump. Remember, this did not go through the Justice Department. It went through Secret Service, which is Homeland Security, which is Kristi Noem. I don't know what fascist dictator you're talking about. Oh, the firefighter's going to come blame me too for not calling them? Freaking lunatic lady. No, they're leaving. I think they're leaving. Yeah, they have green fire trucks. I don't know. Would you trust a fire department with green fire trucks? I like red ones. Yeah. Trump does kick A. There's no doubt about that, Marlette. No doubt about it. Yeah, there goes the alarm again. They can't get the alarm off. Yep, Trump 2028 for sure. The alarm is annoying. You should hear how loud it really is. If you love Trump, press 1 in the chat, guys. If you love Trump, press 1. And subscribe if you're new to my channel. Of course, I can't press 1, but I love Trump. Absolutely. Absolutely. What is Trump doing that's disrespectful to the Constitution of the United States? It's the liberals that have been trying to tear down and rip apart the Constitution. Yeah, let Bush run in the primary against Trump in 2028. I'd love that. You're a war criminal. Trump contradicts himself? When and where was that? I missed that. No, there's only one choice. 1. Press 1 if you love Trump. There's no other choices. You know, this Middle Eastern trip, he secured $3 trillion in business for the United States. Think about that. $3 trillion with a T, right? When have you ever seen a president of the United States travel abroad and bring money back to the United States. Every president I have ever seen, they go to other countries and they write checks of our money and give them money. President Trump may be the first one to go overseas like this and bring money back to the United States. I've never remember a president doing that. Do you? Never. Never. Why do you hate Trump? You cannot be an American and hate Trump. There's no way. Caleb, thank you for the super chat. Yes, I agree with everything you said. Caleb says, stand strong, brothers and sisters. Remember to stay educated and to be critical of liberal propaganda, brainwashing, no doubt. Well, thank you for that $5 super chat. Greatly appreciated. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You will never find someone that supports Trump more than me. You will not find anyone in media who supports Trump more than me. It is impossible. Welcome to the new subscribers. Welcome, welcome. Now, bringing back $3 trillion, and that's just from the Middle East. And I was talking a lot this week about this. You know, these old alliances we have, like NATO, are useless to us. What is Europe? I mean, there's some isolated people in some isolated countries in Europe that are friends with us and very good friends and allies. You know, Hungary, Italy, right? Poland. But the old NATO alliances, the only reason they're in the NATO alliance with us is to steal money from the United States. That's it. Ripping us off with the tariffs, stealing money, not paying their NATO dues, you know. But what President Trump is doing is forming new alliances around the world. And he's looking for, what he did in the Middle East wasn't just secure $3 trillion in business for the United States. I mean, $3 trillion with a T. I mean, how, you know, in $100 bills, how many times around the world would that go? And President, yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And he's bringing peace to the Middle East in a different way, without bombs, right? By making alliances and business relationships. And I love how we found out that the gift to the United States of the jet from Qatar, that was started during the Biden regime, not the Trump administration. Sorry, guys, lost another talking point. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if President Trump makes the United States a NATO nation. We have more oil than any of those countries in NATO. Could you imagine if the United States became, I'm sorry, not NATO, OPEC? I wouldn't be surprised, I misspoke. I meant OPEC, not NATO. I wouldn't be surprised if President Trump signed a deal to make the United States a member of OPEC. That would be amazing. I mean, that would really firm up a Middle Eastern alliance and stop these endless wars and attacks on Israel and everything else. It would be a very good thing. A very good thing. Yeah, I know about the ship that crashed in Brooklyn. I mean, what are you going to say, you know? I mean, those poor people. I mean, the ship, it lost power. That's what caused the crash. Well, the lady cop wearing incredible amount of tack gear just left. She's going back to her speed trap down the street. I mean, she had everything on. She had the vest on with all, I don't know what the hell she had up there. I don't know, it was a little much. They did say it was a Mexican naval vessel. Yeah. They still using sailing ships in Mexico? I'm surprised the Mexican Navy had a boat that big. We've always been paying other countries, Foxtrot. You're absolutely right. President Trump is the first president to bring investments back. I mean, how much total? You know, these press conferences that he has at the White House with foreign businessmen that are bringing these huge investments into the United States. It's amazing. I've never seen a president do this before. Never. He is the first president to do anything like this. Yes, I do support Israel. Yeah. My goodness. I mean, they were attacked by barbarians at the music festival. I mean, you know, come on. But that war is going to end, and Trump's going to end it. He has made friends in the Middle East. You know, and you really got to give him, President Trump, amazing credit for making friends with Syria. Yeah, the barbarians, they came in ultralight airplanes and raped and murdered women at the music festival. That's barbaric. Yeah, Poland's awesome. Poland was the beginning of the end for the Soviet Union. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Tom Homan's the best. He is the best. It's really hot. It's in the 70s. It's almost 80 degrees. I definitely don't need this jacket. But I wore it because I rode the MAGA scooter here. And early in the morning before the sun comes out, the wind, it's pretty cold, so I'm wearing short sleeves. I think they got the alarm off. I'll find out next time they open the door. No, Trump is resetting the world order. You know, if President Trump were president during any time in history, could you imagine the wars that could have been avoided? My Vespa, yeah, the MAGA scooter is red. Yeah, MAGA red, absolutely. Absolutely. Captain Kangaroo and Bundy? What about Mr. Green Jeans? Oh, yeah. Oh. You got to wonder, in the Trump administration, who's hated more? RFK or Elon Musk? I'm talking about the powers that be, not regular people like us. Because the pharmaceuticals, Big Pharma has tremendous amounts of power. And oh, here comes the owner of the deli. He's freaking out. And Big Pharma is not happy with RFK. Oh, no, he's not the owner. I just thought he was the owner. He's a customer. Sorry, deli's not open. Not yet. Oh, Big Pharma is huge. I mean, that's why you're not hearing any discussion, really, of the executive order on drug prices that the president signed the other day, because Big Pharma has so much control over the mainstream legacy television media, they can't even discuss it on the news. Leave NATO. Well, yesterday it came out that the United States is beginning a negotiated troop withdrawal from Europe. I mean, we've been occupying Europe since 1945, but you know what? If we're out of there completely, they'll have another, just like, you know, this Ukraine-Russian war will grow into a whole European conflict. Sure. Obama never had a sidekick, really? What about George Soros? Did you see Obama's daughter? Her first film she directed, she totally stole everything from another movie. Oh my goodness. She's guilty of plagiarism on her first act. I think the alarm went off. Greatest president ever, Alfred. You are right on the money about that, Donald Trump. There's no kidding. Donald Trump is the first president not to be owned by whoever the big money donors were at the time. You know, I talk about this a lot. Even Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest American presidents that's ever lived. He did many great things, Abraham Lincoln, gave his life for it. And he was controlled by the Big Pharma and the military-industrial complex of his day, which were the railroads. Right? He was a railroad attorney, and they had a lot of influence over him. Keela said Trump wishes slavery was still a thing. Trump just ended slavery through the southern border. You know, these illegals that were coming through the southern border, that was a slave passage. And he stopped it. Labor slavery, sex slavery. He ended a slave trade, and you're too stupid to even realize it. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe, all right? This is where MAGA comes to talk. You know, all these people that they were bringing into the country, they put them to work in all these crazy places. That's at low wages. That's slavery, a modern-day version of slavery, but it's still slavery. How do you pay taxes if you have no documents, no social security number that's yours? How do you pay taxes? You don't file income tax if you're undocumented illegal. Now, these liberal talking points just make no sense. They're stupid. A person is not illegal. Oh my goodness. More talking points. Trump's doing well in all the polls, the real polls. Yeah, fake polls, he's not doing well in, where they just make up the numbers. In the real polls, he's over 50% job approval. Basically, his approval rating is about what he got of the vote. The haters still going to hate. You know, when Slovenia, they had this statue of Melania, which was god awful. It was an ugly statue of Melania. That's where she's from, Slovenia, and the statue's been cut down. Apparently, they're creating a new statue for our great First Lady, out of respect. Out of respect. I hope that the president and Melania travel to Slovenia. Well, what these pollsters did before the election, they put out false polls to try to manipulate the public before the election. That's criminal, what they were doing. Very criminal. I don't know if you can see, but my MAGA scooter, now you can't really see it, it's blocked, is right at the front door of the fire truck. I can get out, you know. But. You know? They're turning away customers. Yeah, of course it's red. Absolutely. MAGA red. What do you want to see? The fire truck? You can see the fire truck right here. Oh, the MAGA. I've shown the MAGA scooter on many videos. Fox News, you know, so many people over there hate Trump, especially on Sunday is like Never Trumper Day on Fox News. Right? They hate Trump on Sundays on Fox. It's all negative. Yeah, it's about 80 degrees now, 81. Okay, another firefighter has just left the building. Okay. He's getting in the truck. He's getting out of his fire clothes. So the fire is out, but if there was one. Mm. They have turned so many customers away. The owner's going to be pissed off. You know, I was talking about this earlier in the week. So many people have these meltdowns about all these issues around the world. I don't worry about anything with Trump in the White House. Do you? You know, with other presidents, I worry a lot because they suck and they sell us out and everything else. But with President Trump's got everything under control. There's no need to worry about anything, right? The big beautiful bill will pass. Everything else he does in the future will pass. He'll take care of all of it. There's nothing to worry about when you've got Trump there. Mm-hmm. What has Trump failed at, Max? No, there's nothing to worry about. Nothing. Mm-mm. It's the golden age. That's correct. My wife and I were thinking about, we were talking about this yesterday, having a flagpole installed in our yard because starting on July 4th this year is going to be the pre-celebration for our 250th anniversary next year. So, thinking about getting a flagpole up in the front yard. I'm gonna have one professionally installed. I'm just not sure where I'm going to put it in the front yard. But I told my wife, I said, we can't. You can't leave a flag up at night. You got to take the flag down at night. That's the law. So, at Disney World, they actually came up with a solution about that. At Disney World, they have flags up all over the place, and they leave them up 24 hours a day, and they're not breaking the law because the flags have extra stars and stripes on them. So they're not official American flags because they have extra stars and stripes on them. But I want to have the official flag. So I guess I'll have to go out every day at sunset and have a ceremony. And I'll play a bugle on my iPhone while I'm doing it. Yeah. I've wanted to get a flagpole installed for years. And what better time to do it? So what I was asking my wife, well, what flags will we put up? Will we put any other flags besides the flag of the United States? So we have the United States flag, which would be the highest. You got to have the American flag flying highest, and that's the law. Underneath that, the Florida flag, and then underneath that, MAGA flag. What do you guys think? No, I'd buy an American-made flag. Most definitely would buy an American-made flag. Lincoln suspended habeas corpus. The POW flag? No, flags made in the U.S. Every stream, I have to show this. Made in all official Trump hats. This is from the Trump store, made in the USA. Okay? Right there. If you buy them from the official Trump store, made in the USA. Yeah. If you get them from the official Trump store. Now, all of my hats from the Trump store are made in the USA. I have some that aren't, that people have given me, and I don't know where they were made, but if you get them from the official Trump store, they're made in the USA. Oh yeah, these are great. This hat was not cheap. The Trump hats are very well made. I mean, look at the stitching. Look at that. Very well made. I mean, look at that. Very well made. Okay. And the other one I just got was the Gulf of America hat. I just showed it, Aaron. No, made in the USA. And I don't understand what these trolls think. Made in China. What does that even mean to you? I mean, you know, the Democrats and the corrupt politicians moved all our manufacturing to China. Made in USA. And they act like there's something wrong. I'll tell you what's probably not made in the United States is whatever computer or device you're watching me on. That's probably not made in the United States. Mm-hmm. It is a federal crime to put a made in the USA tag in something that's not made in the USA. And this is from the official Donald Trump website store. So I don't think he would be doing that. Mm-hmm. I got my name on my cup. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to my channel. This is where MAGA comes to talk. If you're new during the week, I'm on the radio, I have a podcast, of course, and I take live calls from the studio during the week, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. This is just me on Sunday, hanging out, having some coffee. It's a crime. If you put a made in the USA tag on something that's not made in the USA, it's a federal crime. Absolutely. Yep. Well, welcome the new subscriber. The microphone, it's a, let's see. It probably was made in China. Let me see if it says here. It doesn't say. It does not say. It probably said it on the box. I don't see it on the back here. Hold on. Probably was made in China. I wouldn't be surprised. It does not say. Oh, wait a second. No. It does not say. If it says it, I'm missing it. Nope, made in China. Yes. The hat is made in the USA. This is made in China. It says so right there. But see, that's what Trump's doing. He's bringing manufacturing back to the United States. You know, the Democrats and the sellout politicians that were getting their USA ID money, they've sent all of our manufacturing to China, Vietnam, Taiwan, all these places around the world. And it's almost impossible. You could not live your life buying things just made in the United States. So little is made here. Now, if you're Amish, you could. You'd have to be like Amish. Then you might be able to. You know, no electronic equipment or anything. Although I've seen some of these Amish people at the Trump rallies in Pennsylvania with iPhones, but, you know. Mm-hmm. So if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I live stream every day. And you will not want to miss my streams during the week when I take live calls, because it's a toll-free number I put in the chat. You can call me live on the air, whether you agree or disagree, and challenge anything I say. And since it's live, it gets out there. Trump can't have a third term. He could, yes. No, he has not endorsed JD. He was asked about that, and he didn't say JD's got it in the bag. JD has to prove himself. I think Trump's favorite is Marco Rubio. I think he'd like to see Marco get the nomination. My favorite Mike Lindell energy drink flavor is the green apple. They're all good, but I like the green apple. Mm-hmm. That's right, the Constitution would have to be amended. Well, listen, guys, thanks for joining me for my coffee. My coffee is about done. So I'm going to get on the MAGA scooter and head home. But if you're new, make sure you subscribe. My name is Brian Craig. Look for my podcast later today. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for watching. See you next time.